Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2. So here's something weird. While I was setting up the video, I noticed that the label for our constellation is over here on this arm of the galaxy, and in fact, our constellation is owned by a player that I haven't met. This is neither me nor the Cravers. So I'm starting to wonder if our constellation goes all the way through the middle of the galaxy and down into here? Pink is on... I don't know exactly how this works. It might be that Pink is on either 5 or 6 systems controlled. More than the Cravers have, it seems. So I'm a little worried about this. It may be the case that we never get control of our constellation. Certainly strange, but I guess it's not super relevant to what we're doing here, because any version of getting control of the constellation for us, even if it was just us and the Cravers, is going to require us to go through the Cravers anyway. So, we have to deal with this pirate base. I think we're going to try to deal with this pirate base. I really want to play with the pirates and see if we can manipulate them into being something that's useful for us, but the situation that we have this game, I think, makes this not the game for that. And I think we are going to go ahead and pick up the A2S slugs. We need to be able to remove enemies from the surface of planets, and we just don't have a good way of generating the manpower to do that right now. I don't want to go for chain gang or anything. Our population is too valuable and we're still too small. So we're going to go through ubiquitous surveillance, get slightly better ships, and then pick up the A2S thing. And I think that's really all that we had left to do this turn. We're going to be able to bring on the amoebas, I hope, pretty soon. Hopefully we can deal with these pirates. I do want to say one more thing. Somebody in the comments of the previous episode said to me that splicing early is a trap. It seems great to add stuff to your population early, but basically, if you're not getting considerable amounts of plus food, you're making it more difficult for your population to grow, and you can't really afford the loss of all the extra population output. You know, when it's really early on, losing a point of population, like from here, for example, is all of this stuff on the planet base output plus all of this stuff on the population unit, and like splicing so you lose 2 population early is just, you're setting yourself back to a degree that you're not going to make up. And I hadn't really thought about it. I was just like, yeah, let's make the Horatio the best they can be right away. But yeah, that's probably right, isn't it? You probably want to establish a healthy population base before you do any splicing. We might do another Horatio game after this one, just to kind of experiment with it a little bit. This is bad. This pirate ship is just waiting here for our scout to show up. It doesn't appear to have the thing in defense mode, though. Yeah, I think we can just zoom through. Yeah, okay. So, we finished our ships. We have our Artisanal Excellence Museum. Now, there's some debate in the comments about whether my understanding was correct, that this only affects the system that it's in. So we should test that, because I'm not certain myself. My understanding of it was that this is a system improvement, right? You build this in a system. And so it says +4 industry on original Empire population, and it doesn't say just in this system, but also on other improvements, like here. It doesn't say that this industry is just in this system. It's just that that's an understood thing. System improvements create extra resources within their system. So I might be wrong about that. We're gonna have to try it out. We will find out. Yeah. So look upon me, Prime. Look upon me and worry about your future. That's less dramatic, the end of that, than I was hoping. Or leave your worry behind and simply surrender. I swear that I shall treat you with all the tenderness that you treated me. I could never have guessed how good it feels to be Emperor. If I'm having a bad day, I simply stand on the balcony and let the throngs cheer at me. There's nothing more fulfilling than the sound of mindless adulation. You might want to be careful about words like mindless when you're talking about people who are exact clones of yourself. Prime was correct. In spite of his flaws, I see that now. To cover the galaxy with Horatio, with me, is a destiny that both I and the galaxy well deserve. The planets remade into Horatio Prime, the peoples absorbed and adapted, beatified and perfected until they resemble me. It is a glorious future I give them. The only hitch, however, are 5 and Prime. The only hitch are 5 and hitches. They must be found. I guess, is it hitches if it's multiple copies of the same hitch? I don't know. They must be found and then destroyed, ruined, imprisoned? I will have to decide. But the thought of my enemies kneeling in chains before me almost makes me giddy. Their pleas for mercy may even be more agreeable to my ears than the affection of the throngs. Cannot wait to find out. You arm yourself, Prime, as if somehow it was you, not I, who was the leader of this gorgeous empire. Has the loss of your throne driven you mad, or do you fight me out of desperation? So Horatio Prime has some fleets out here trying to steal my galaxy. What are they thinking? We gotta blow them up, and we will receive... oh, wow. That seems like a pretty good reward. Do you get... You know what? If we do play another game as Horatio after this, we'll go for a different branch on the first quest. Because I'm curious if this is the beginning of Chapter 2, if you don't take the Industrialist path. Because this seems like a pretty good reward. Alright, anyway, pirates. We got pirates to fight. Our ships are not super great. Okay, we're making this beautifier, right, because we need a ship that can take Imnos while we still have the ability to do that, before the Cravers show up and grab it. Eventually we're going to need a ship to take Mayal, but that's going to have to wait until after we have some siege ships, right? Which is going to be half a dozen turns at the very earliest. I'm not going to lie, this game is not going that well. Oh hey, so we had a Horatio quest fleet spawn directly on top of us. What are we looking at here? So our ships are bad, and his ships are better. So see, I put beams on our ships because I was thinking that if we were fighting pirates with them, we would spend most of the battle at close range, because the if I go lasers and set myself at medium range, the pirates are going to try to go to close range because they're bullet focused. And so we're going to spend the first third of the battle at medium and then the next 2/3 at close. So I wanted to go for this weapon that was going to be better at close, while not also playing into the fact that projectile defenses are super common at the beginning of the game. But I have created some ships that are overall just kind of not very strong. So let's see here. These guys are partially beam, partially laser. I mean, all projectile defenses. Our defense value is higher than theirs, and our defenses are correct for their weapons, whereas theirs are pretty bad for us. So actually, we want to try to go to close then here. I guess the real question is whether we fight or run. I'm a little worried about the very high defense rating of these ships, or offense rating, relative to ours. Maybe that it would be best to retreat and then regroup. We're not going to get to search this anomaly if we lose this battle, though. Which means we're not going to get Akamar. Let's try it. Let's go for it. I guess the other concern that maybe makes it wrong to go for it is that this is costly. These 3 ships represent a fair amount of time for us at this point in the game. Failure would be expensive here. I think we should go for it because I think we need to have a good feel for how powerful our ships are relative to his ships. All right, let's do it. So yeah, he's gonna start at medium, but we're gonna close quickly. He doesn't get any benefit out of this part of hard target, although we don't get any benefit out of this part of turtle. This is probably going to go badly. As my guess is that this is going to have a bad outcome. All right. This first part of the battle is going to favor them. When we close a little bit, things will be better for us, but if we've lost a ship by that point, it may not matter. Okay, they're spreading their damage out at least. That's helpful. And our damage, poor as it is focused. You know, I've never actually looked at this symbol, and I'm realizing now that I don't know if this is telling me that we're in the second phase or that we're still at medium range. No, this has to still be the first phase, yeah. So we've entered the second phase of the battle, and now we've closed. So their weapons are less effective, but we already lost a ship, and so my suspicion is that we will not actually get a kill here. Although, their weapons are weak enough at this range that it looks like we won't lose both of our ships. Maybe. I think we're going to come out of this with one ship to their 3 ships, although one of them is very damaged. Not great. That said... Oh, no, we end up losing everything. Yeah, I guess as soon as the second ship is gone, they start actually focusing. Okay, so that's bad in a number of ways. Mostly, it means that we won't get to search the Curiosity because our scout ship will get attacked as soon as it arrives. Alright, so let's fall back. We can change up the design for the weapon now that we no longer need to be meeting an artificial defense quota. So maybe we want to... They're on entirely projectile defenses, so we still want to stick with energy. Maybe I just go sync lasers, we just meet them at medium and overpower them by being able to have more ships than they have. That's probably right, and we stick with energy defenses because they're using energy weapons. Alright. I would not ordinarily design a ship that has 2 defense modules and 1 offense module in a configuration that could be 2 offense, 1 defense. We just had to get that quest done. Alright. So obviously, this is not a good start. We need to build food. This is this is 3 food, and this is 6. Yeah, I mean, that's makes that pretty clear. I guess we're content. 60% is the threshold, so if we build infinite supermarkets, we could push our food up that way as well. We'd gain 15% food off of that. So it's less effective still than organic purity, but it's also half the cost. It's a slow start. I don't think we're out of the game, but it's definitely a worse start than we've seen the last couple of games. These things happen. Sometimes you get a you don't get the magic start, you don't get the legendary start, but you need to be able to win the game. When even in situations where you don't have the very best stuff. Come on. Oh no. I was trying to zoom in enough to click the thing before we got attacked, but apparently we hadn't ever zoomed all the way in on that system yet, so it gave me the show off the planet's view. Well, the good news is our scout ship is healthy and can flee. Get out there and immediately turn around. It looks like the other Horatio fleet is in free space between these 2 nodes, which is weird. Oh hey, the Galactic Census is coming up. In less than 20 turns, possess 2 ships of 60 offensive power. Very easy to do. We will definitely do this. The reward is useless, though. Generate 170 industry in one of your systems. Again, useless reward. Okay, so there's no good reward here. Horde will happen naturally. I guess we'll just let it. Yeah, that's fine. And you know what? I care so little about the reward from that quest. I'm not gonna try to wait. Let's get our ships set as quickly as possible. Honestly, we probably only need 3 ships that are like the proper designs. It'll take 3 turns to build one of these, or 5. Let's get an Imposer out, and we'll just crush them. A medium ship gives us considerable superiority. And you are just in defense for now, I guess. So I'm a little worried about this fleet. Is this fleet headed toward Imnos or headed toward the asteroid field? Okay, it looks like they're going toward the asteroid field, just very, very slowly. But that's probably a good sign for us, in that we will probably be able to land the beautifier over here on Imnos. Although, you know what? I wasn't thinking about this, but maybe it's not worth colonizing Imnos because we'll have to send food, right? Maybe we just save this beautifier for Mayal.
Soon your world
okay, that extremely does not affect us. He's generating additional pressure on us, but yeah, that's just That just doesn't do anything. It's just a thing that the AI has been told is good to do when you are mad at people. Alright. We have here a fleet that is, you know, reasonably capable. Maybe could fight... certainly could fight some pirates, at the very least. Yeah, the more I think about this, the less I like just putting down on Imnos. The benefit of putting down on Imnos is low enough. I mean, the Garden of Eden's pretty great. Here we go. There's a very specific... If you mouse over, like, the graphic of the planet, but not the colonization circle, you can see the actual numbers. I mean, the output of this planet is not bad. 5 food per citizen. And my concern is it's going to take us long enough to be in a position to actually hit my all. Yeah. I think what we're going to do is post-build retrofit this thing to have the siege modules on it. Or maybe we're going to build some defense ships. Oh, geez. At this point, probably a free tech is the right way to go. Our science output is bad. 10% of 110% of a small number is usually still a pretty small number. The 10 approval would move us up to devoted. It would make Polaris... The 10 approval from this plus the approval from the supermarket would not get Polaris to devoted. So Polaris is going to be happy in 2 turns no matter what. And actually, that's going to push us over to devoted, probably. So yeah, we won't really benefit very much from the approval. It'll be better. We'll be at a better approval level for the next 2 turns than we would otherwise be, and then after that we'll be back to being the same. So yeah, let's take a free tech. I do wish that it would just tell you which one. Obviously, we can go and look. We had this, we had that. Oh, it gave us eukaryotic sap. So, I mean... That's cool. All-time air conditioning systems. I did not, would not have been my guess for what ATAC stands for. Okay, so that pushed us above our devoted threshold. And surprise, we're polling ecologist. Also, the polls don't matter. It's like, what are we looking at here? If we wanted to build siege ships, which is a thing I often do, we have on these ships... Okay. Every slot on these ships is a support slot if we want it to be. Maybe we do this thing? Our ships are kind of slow for what they're doing right now, and we don't really have better options directly with the engines. But we can accelerate the fleet. Well, I guess the question is, am I going to be mixing these ships in with my normal attack fleets, or is it going to be a fleet of siege ships? Because if it's a fleet of siege ships, they don't necessarily need to be super fast. It would probably be better if we got the sieging done more quickly. Yeah, but we need better engines. That should probably be... We should probably tack to faster movement. So the Hyperium engine is right here. These are just probes, right? Yeah. Okay, so one more research from this tier gets us a better class of engine. We certainly have the Hyperium to spare. So if I grab this to give us a little bit better Curiosity Expedition power, 2 turns. Okay, yeah, that's fine. What about our medium ships? We're building a hull right now. We can modify it in post. So we have a number of slots available here. Actually, let's strip all this stuff. What is... Okay. A couple of these could be siege things. Let's see. For right now, we're fighting... And the pirates are still projectile-based, though. This is a weapon slot. We could probably go... We have projectile damage enhancers, but we're not going to be able to fit this on the ship and also all the other stuff we need. We could really commit to the beam weapons at medium range thing, or we could try to hedge by making our medium ships different than our small ships, and then tending our battle tactics toward the medium ships. Yeah, let's go all in on one strategy for right now, because we're actually pretty weak, even if everything is going our way. Yeah, I think this is better than putting on a third weapon. It's not going to take that much to overpower the enemies that we're fighting right now. And I'm way more concerned about planets than I am about fleets at the moment. Maybe that's not the way it should be, but it is the way it is. Run! Get back to my all before anybody else does. Nope. It looks to me like this fleet is, yeah, headed back in this direction. So that's pretty bad. They got out here before we did and are already on the way back. Well, I don't think this fleet's going anywhere. We're going to stay put for 3 turns, meet up with our medium ship, and then push north and try to take my all. I think we should be able to. We're just going to go straight through because they're not in defense mode here. Oh, hey, somebody has discovered the academy. Great. The yellow player, who we do not know. Well, I suppose we'll go for plus resource generation on strategics because we don't have the tech for system developments. This does actually nothing. Not that we really need more titanium and hyperium income. Desperately need food and industry. I mean, our population's growing, and it's growing relatively quickly. It would take us 10 turns to build this here. This is 2 turns. It's probably not worth delaying the imposer. We need to get out there. Yeah, alright, just finish building that. And now, question of whether we inhabit Imnos. You know what? We probably do need to do this. We just need to expand our economic base. It is going to slow down our growth a little bit for a while, but I think the gain is worth it, even though this is a one-planet system. Right, and here I think doubling the food is probably worth the 250 dust. 250 is not really that much to us anymore, and boy, any amount of turns faster on that is good. We also are going to have to change up our laws pretty soon. We can keep up this extra food growth for now, but we are going to run out of influence eventually. Okay, you can see we got a lot of extra curiosity expedition power available, so let's go and... or a lot of extra curiosities available to us now that we have the extra expedition power. Let's go and search those. We definitely don't want to devote planet time to it, because we need to be doing other things with our planet. We're going to have a 4th unit of population soon. Organic purity is getting there. It's going to be good eventually. Yeah, we just need the growth. This will be a very powerful system for research once we can get the population up. Alright, so we have our faster engines. Let's go ahead and slap one of those in the imposer design. Alright, what's the retrofit cost on these? Is it worth thinking about it? 172. Let's wait until this thing's out to see what the retrofit cost on that's going to be. It might be considerable. It might be that we wait to retrofit it with the siege modules until after we've wiped out the quest fleets. So, in the meantime, we could be working toward getting our first system development upgrade. We could be working toward generating more influence so that we can actually keep our government running for longer. We could be working toward even faster engines and better research. Oh yeah, wormholes. But I'm assuming that this is, yeah, it's a fairly considerable layout. You know what we should do is we should grab this. We're about to have a medium ship. We're going to need more command points in our fleets to really make use of all of our toys. And also we could use the upgraded weapon modules that come with this, this tier gain. There goes the first of the food ships out to Imnos. We'll have Imnos before too long. I'm not worried about it. 638. Alright. So I think we're gonna go ahead and do this here. I was going to wait and try to build a forward base with it, but let's get it done. We'll see exactly what it does do. If it does give +4 industry to all of your original population units everywhere, I think it's clearly, like by a huge, huge margin, the best of the rewards from that that branch of the quest. Okay, we discovered a shuttle, and antimatter, and a very small amount of science, like really, really small. That order was supposed to be for this shuttle, or for this scout. Let's see, this guy... Yeah, alright, I mean, welcome to the army. The Navy, I guess. So for right now, I think we should be... We should be fine to just move this pair of ships out. The question is, and you know what, I was going to say the question is, do we want to wait for autonomous construction to be finished? But yes, of course we do. I'm being silly. It's only a single turn. We can move out as a group, a much stronger group. So we'll check in on our industry output on our various systems shortly before this finishes, and that should make it pretty clear whether or not it's doing the whether or not it's adding to everybody. Let's see, you guys all merge up. Okay, lots of weapon ships. We don't have access to the market yet. Well, hold on. We have a couple of curiosities to search here. I should have 2 probes this turn? Yeah, so we get them both. Maybe we'll find enough dust to do this retrofit before we leave. We discovered 50 influence and... Oh, some remnant population. Okay, that's interesting. What do we get from a remnant splice? Oh, wow. 2 industry, 1 dust is awesome, actually. Yeah, that's very encouraging. We need to splice these guys in. Alright, we're having growth. I see those numbers going up. So, do we want to chill until the Imposer can be retrofitted properly? I think we probably do. If I'm going to devote time to building this thing instead of building actual individual siege ships, we need the Imposer to do the siege work. Which means we need to sit still for... Alright, just you really need to be upgraded. 651. We can probably pull that down a little bit by changing the engine back to the old engine. There's no sense in upgrading to a Hyperium engine when he's not going to get any benefit out of it because of the fact that the rest of the fleet is still moving slowly. Yeah, see, we're going to be bound by the movement speed of the shuttle and the weapons. Moving the Imposer to 6 doesn't help us. In fact, I might want to drop the shuttle, because the fleet would move at 5 otherwise. Yeah, we'll send out 5 command points at 5 movement. That does make the retrofit cheap enough. And I still want the shuttle here with us, it's just... It will arrive, 2 turns later. Okay. We may get to search this thing on Mayal before the Cravers steal the amoebas from us still. We might be able to pull that off. So, we really need infrastructure. Like, very badly. +5 food per cold and per hot and per planet. Honestly, like, this tech doesn't really move us forward very much, but honestly, sustainable farms is something we really do need. The tech named Sustainable Farms is something we need, and Sustainable Farms are something we need. Yeah, stick with ecologists, because right now I don't know that we could really bear the output penalty loss from switching to another party. And the people mostly still want there to be ecologists. Or mostly still want us to be ecologists. Remember, we will suffer approval penalties if we force a government that the people really, really don't like. So it does still matter. We still have to do a good job here. Alright, so we should be able to catch the pirates and one of the Horatio quest fleets and this quest all at Mayal, and then we can worry about the other fleet afterward. Oh, never mind. That sucks. Oh, and Slingshot ended. That also sucks, actually. Alright, keep Polaris clear of enemy ships. You know what? It'll happen or it won't. I'm not going to put any effort into it. Not that I wouldn't love a little bit of extra influence so that we could keep our current laws running for longer, but... Did we drop... I'm wondering why all of a sudden we're negative on dust? Did I... Because we were positive even after the building of the medium ship. I wonder if improving the ship... Well, it wouldn't have... I was going to say, I wonder if improving the ship really upgraded the upkeep cost, like if maybe the upkeep cost is based on how advanced it is. But it wouldn't have been this much, right? We were plus 27 or something last turn. Well, I mean, there's not a lot we can do about it right this second. And also, the number is, yeah, like the number changes arbitrarily and without you doing anything a lot of the time. So, well, we can move some population over to this planet. Helps a little bit with dust because this planet's outputting one more dust per population. But we are going to need a longer-term solution. Probably just being able to sell stuff on the marketplace is a fine way to go about it. We have more titanium and hyperium than we need. And there aren't even curiosities on Mayal left to explore, because the Cravers were able to get them all, while the pirates were focused entirely on me, despite the fact that I paid them off already. Yeah, we got a bit of an uphill climb ahead. And that really sucks, too. It was next turn that we were going to get those amoebas convinced over. That is a real shame. Well, shoot. Is there anything anywhere worth searching? Yeah, Vorta has some curiosities. I guess get over there. We're not actually at war with the Cravers yet, so I might be allowed to search some stuff. Okay. We don't have to take them all the way down to 0 because they can't use conscription, but I definitely want to burn them as much as we can safely, because obviously I want to spend as little manpower as possible here. Not going that well. We're going to get some good information here, though. Alright, I was hoping that the amount that we were losing money would continue to fall. Alright, this is what we need for right now. We just need to not go broke until we have access to the market, and then once we have access to the market, we can use sales to push our economy for a little bit while we figure things out. It is not an ideal situation. So did we not gain any manpower? No, the ship has 0 manpower. Okay, fair enough. That's fine. We'll just sit here for a few turns. We'll get stuff done. So they're not in defense mode on here. We'll be able to just zoom right through. Hopefully the Horatio fleet will come back. I don't really want to have to go out to here and then come all the way back to Imnos afterward. That would sort of fit our luck so far, though. Alright, they're coming. Slowly, but they're coming. Great. I mean, it's actually not going to slow down the colony at all. Still annoying, though. Okay, so we do need to develop some actual dust buildings. We don't really have luxury deposits. We will on Imnos, but we won't have time to build a structure like this on Imnos. I mean, this does allow us to specialize our planets for dust output, although we don't... I mean, some of the planets in the Polaris system are sterile, right? All of them, in fact. So we could specialize these planets for dust output. That would certainly help. Intergalactic Supermarket is a large enough build that it's going to be kind of awkward for us to fit in. Yeah, you know what? Astrofinance may be the way out of this problem. And then we'll have system developments up available, and maybe we can make something happen there. Oh yeah, I didn't actually sell anything is what's up. You have access to the marketplace. So we have some... Oh, are we getting... I didn't realize that you got income from your outpost. I thought it had to become a colony first. Well, that's cool. Well, let's just sell. We can sell a handful of these and keep ourselves solvent for a little while. Yeah, that'll cover us for a bit. And then we probably want to move as much population as possible back to Veni 4, because Veni 4 is where the food is. Does moving these guys back over here drop us... No, doesn't even drop us below ecstatic. And there's not any reason that they would want to be on any particular planet. No, they just care that the system is happy. Yeah, food. Generate food. Okay, what else do we need to do? You know what? I think we're good for the turn. For the moment. Hey, look, we did it. What a surprise.
Our purpose is to kill.
Okay, I don't... We really can't afford this.
As well.
So, I guess we have to give him money. Don't you worry, big guy. We're gearing up. We're going to deal with you.
Our purpose is to kill.
Does my race have a spine? We have several. I keep stealing them from other races. Okay, well this one is one we probably don't have to think about too hard. Let's just... You know, we don't actually have a... we don't have a good medium range middle fleet policy or tactics card available to us. We should probably rebalance things a little bit. We don't need to watch this. This is going to be a blowout. Yep, no damage at all, really. Interesting that they're not attacking us. I kind of thought as a hostile quest fleet they would have to. Well, let's go for power to shield. So they like medium, or they like long range. We also like long range. And we'll put the medium ship here just to soak up shots. I'm sure that they don't actually threaten it. And these guys will be at medium, you know... I still don't really know how cross-flotilla fire works. Probably some of our Endless Legend, or Endless Space friends down in the comments have elucidated that a little bit, and I've just not noticed. Well, let's do this. Let's watch it. The medium ship can absorb hits. We should have these guys. I don't think it should be a problem. do want to minimize damage. Especially in a situation like this where we don't really have super good control of our manufacturing yet. And the bigger ship just has a lot of guns, right? Even at non-optimal range. It just does a lot of damage. Zoom close enough to these guys to get the numbers visible. So it looks like there's no fire missing from this fleet, which would imply that these guys are getting proper medium range accuracy. We have missed shots coming in, but they're all coming from the other flotilla. Okay, we took a little bit of damage on one of our smalls. That will be just fine. And it should be easy enough for us to take these guys down. I'm a little worried that we're going to head toward Imnos, and they're going to immediately go back into free space, where they are invulnerable for many, many turns. But I guess if they want to do that, we don't really have a way of stopping them. Let's stay here. We'll get my all figured out. We definitely want to queue up a beautifier for immediately after the museum finishes. Oh yeah, I suppose Imnos should build things. Fair enough. Oof. Not great. Not a great amount of time. We'd be in better shape if we weren't being blockaded. No, that's not the case. They're actually not blockading. They're in orbit, but they're not, they haven't pressed the blockade button. Well, I appreciate that, at least. You can tell because a blockaded system has this ring with the little arrows pointing inward. Okay, and that's 10 Craver ships. Great. Well, I think we could take this as a declaration of intent. He might do a ground assault, which would be very awkward for us, because if he clears the planet... I mean, if he clears the planet, it doesn't actually matter, because he doesn't have a colony ship. But, I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't very concerned about this new development here. Okay, we're probably not going to get to search this planet, because they're going to shoot us off of here. Look at how many ships he has. Just a huge, huge number of ships. I wonder if maybe I have gotten started too slowly to stay in this game. With Cravers as my only neighbor, and me as their only neighbor, I suspect. They probably don't have anything else to do other than eat us. Alright, well, you know what? Even if we lose the game, we're at least going to get a little bit of information here that will be useful in future games. Let's see if they blow us up or if they let us do a little searching. Yep, they're going to blow us up. Okay. We don't get to retreat. So our ship is just dead. No, we do get to retreat. I guess this is... This is considered to be a neutral system for purposes of retreating, despite the fact that it's in another player's orbit. Because we're not at war with him, I guess, but I'm pretty sure we've seen this not work this way in the past. At least once. So, like, what is his plan here? He's just gonna keep building up ships, apparently. He has mediums too, he's showing us. 1195. Our medium has a much lower offensive power, in part because we have siege modules. But basically, he could blow us up whenever he wants. So that's a thing to note. Alright, so we are at 175 industry production here on this system. Over here on Polaris, we are on 45. We should see a pretty sharp jump up to what, like 61, if this does indeed give you industry to all of your original Empire population. Now, unfortunately, the numbers don't always update in real time, so we may not actually see that change this turn. It certainly hasn't jumped up. We don't see that number, that industry represented on the Horatio card. We do see some extra population or some extra industry here. Yeah, 20 points, which is what you would expect from 5 Horatio. Does the thing just say on it? No, it does not say on it what we are getting from it. How about this way? No, unfortunately, it's counted as from planet. Yeah, because it's emerging from the population on the planets, it's folded into the from planet value here. That's a shame, because buildings, like you can see, Xeno-Industrial Infrastructure has its own entry. Buildings usually tell you, it usually tells you in here exactly what you're getting from each building. But this works a little strangely because the points are sort of coming from the population. Alright, well, we'll see if Polaris updates next turn. It may recalculate when we hit end of turn. But I think this does make it pretty clear that it only affects the system you build it in. Wow, how are we at minus 51 now? What is going on? Our military upkeep is going up very sharply. So we'll specialize. This will, wow. It takes 4 turns to make it. Yeah, I guess it's 160 industry. This system is bad. It's a good system for things that are not food and growth and industry and dust. It's a good system for the one thing we are not really super looking for at this moment. Yeah, this having no luxuries on our initial systems is hurting us more than I was thinking it might. Well, we can certainly start generating quite a bit of extra food here, and then once we have the here, we'll make sustainable farms over here. It's actually a pretty considerable boost in food even with only 1 planet, given our poor values. I'm real worried, though. I'm very worried about the Cravers. Very worried about the Cravers totally murdering the hell out of us. We extremely need plus 10 industry, I think. Like, more than anything else there. We have access to 10 more points of approval, but we're ecstatic here. And 10 industry is not awesome. It's like a 5% boost, but I think we need it more than any of the other things that he has available. We're actually influence positive now. Oh, because the old law broke off because it got too expensive. Sure. We could run this for a while, because we do have anomalies. Not here, but in the on Polaris. Yeah, it canceled our law because it was getting too expensive. It does do that at kind of strange times. Like, we actually weren't going to go negative, but we got close enough to negative that it got worried, I guess. Yeah, we could run the green fertility bill for quite a while. There's two things here on Polaris, so that should help Polaris grow a little bit more quickly. He's helping us siege this down faster, but I'm a little worried that that these 15 ships are gonna suddenly kill us. I don't want to bail out. We're building the beautifier. We need to take Mayal. But I mean, he could end the game. He could end our game at any moment. The moment of his choosing. Oh hey, system developments. This will help with our dust. Because we actually do have deciduous tree income. And we also actually have some stored up from discovering them. Let's do that. It would be cool if we were not negative. We can delay the farms 1 turn. I think we do want to finish that purifier, though. Or that beautifier. Yeah, I may have mismanaged us out of the game. That's possible. So we need ships. We need industry, which we can't really get more of. Like, we could pick up... where is it? Neural robotics. And that would help. But I'm worried that it would help too late. Maximized exploitation gives us extra industry on hot and sterile planets. We don't really have a lot of hot planets available. We certainly have some sterile. And this is hot, and these are both hot and sterile, actually. Yeah, that could be big. Colonize one of these, move a bunch of people over now that we actually have some population. Yeah. We might desperately need AI labor. Extreme atmospherics is attractive because we have some antimatter. It would be cool to start mining it, but you know what? We should probably focus on not dying. But see, even this is 13 turns away. Is there something we could pick up that would have a bigger impact in the here and now? Not going to be tremendously cheaper to research stuff from the third rank of other quadrants. Honestly, I think the answer is no, we don't have a better option. It's bad, though. It's a bad situation. Things are a little bit better in the capital now. We can build some more ships with all of this extra industry. These things actually take longer to build than they did before. Ugh. This is bad. Well, we need all the industry we can get. You know, it says plus 10 per hot on system. Okay, so it is only hot planets that we've actually inhabited. So picking these up will add additional industry to the system from our heroes' traits. We probably need to put off organic purity for inhabiting a planet that has some actual industry output. Okay. Yep, I think that's it. We're moving forward. It's gonna be ugly. How long until the beautifier arrives? Because obviously we want to take Mael down and put the outpost down in the same turn, right? We don't want to leave any time for these guys to get their stuff together. But man, this is a terrifying set of ships. Why isn't he attacking? What is happening that is causing him to think he has a better play than just eliminating me? We don't have the full context of his decisions, obviously, but also, to a certain extent, you know, it's the AI and they make bad calls, so that might be all that it is. That may well be all that is happening here. Alright, well, that Horatio Quest fleet never bothered to come over to Polaris, which I appreciate. Oh, the mind control helmet. So, Veni is where our hero is. So doubling his experience for 10 turns actually might be pretty good. We don't need approval, so. And I don't love our citizens, like, hyper-militarizing, but what are you going to do? Okay. So next turn we're going to be able to make that trip. Pirates have no defenses left, but these guys don't seem to have any interest in taking the system. I'm a little worried that if I don't... Like, I don't want them to take it because there is a reward for clearing a pirate base. But like I said, I also don't want them to think of this as a neutral system. I guess at this point it can't matter. They either have the colony ship on the way or they don't. They're not going to be able to start the trip and make it before we would get our ship in place. So I guess let's take it. Let's get the reward. We'll go for preemptive bombing because we have space under our manpower cap anyway. And what did we get? We got 900 dust and 15... Yeah, those are good rewards. Boy, I'm worried. I'm very worried. I'm concerned in the extreme here. Can I get vision of this system this turn? I'm wondering if that fleet is still there. It is. Okay, well. So we don't want to go back there to try to steal those, and we certainly don't want to wait here for the rest of the Cravers to show up. So let's flee. Man, losing Akamar really hurt. So there was this really nice savanna planet. But it only has 4 industry output. I'm wondering if we want to take the arid world, which is still good. Okay, he has some kind of quest here. Or maybe even the Ash Planet. Obviously, the Ash Planet has some serious approval issues. Yeah, let's take this. This is a place where we can grow and we can be reasonably happy. And it still has decent industry output. If we are going to be able to recover, this is going to be part of it. You know, the Savannah world has a greater population count than I was figuring it would. I didn't actually look at the number on the tooltip. I was just like, well, that won't be very good because it's tiny, but... if we run for here, we won't make it in time to catch those guys. Unless they don't leave right away. But... well, first of all, we definitely have enough dust now that I can do this retrofit. Then we can leave the shuttle behind. Now we have 6 move. Okay, yeah, we will now get there in time to catch the quest fleet, so we can get that.
Our purpose is to kill.
Yeah, that's... Yep, fair enough.
Our purpose is to kill.
Okay, that was 2 different versions of that same message. It doesn't seem necessary to me. Well, if we had any chance at all of recovering, we are on it. We are working on that chance. So this place actually has decent food output. We don't really need to build a food building. I'm wondering if we'll skip that entirely here. Even though Xeno-industrial infrastructure is not great, just like 10, industry is not a thing we can turn down right now. Well, we're developing. Slowly. Okay. So we had an event that added some population. Yep, some Calgaros have shown up on Polaris. Okay. That's cool. Hold on, which planet do we want next? This one has pretty good approval. 30610 00412. Oof. These planets are all pretty bad. Pretty bad for growth, I should say. I guess it should be this one because this is where the antimatter is, and this still has a little bit of food on it. Okay, I honestly don't really know what to do with you. Let's worry about that later. We don't need to watch this. This should be pretty straightforward. Alright, I think I once again want to put the medium ship in mid, because I don't think it's going to take any damage, really. Alright, so we've got our Museum of Manual Efforts. Every system has gained 25 industry, which seems very, very good. Very, very good. Horatio, my creator, my hero, my enemy. You are mine now. You kneel before me, and I cannot decide what to do with your gorgeous head. You were my idol, my god, until I saw what you did to 1, 2, and 3. I will not share their fate, though you may share theirs. The power you once held is now mine. That's a little... okay. A little strangely worded. Some stuff is happening here. Alas for 5. His talent was insufficient for his ambition. How sad to see one so beautiful fall so quickly. I suppose an analogy to cherry blossoms might be appropriate. But I am feeling charged with power and energy, not sentiment and frailty. That's true. If you're feeling powerful, there's no time for poetry. 5 has been brought down. That is all that needs to be said. Like Prime before him, those who dare to challenge the most capable of all Horatios are destined to fail. Now we shall turn our efforts to a more important thing, the glorious vision unveiled by Prime that seems so very fitting for this ugly gray universe. We shall cover it with the beauty of Horatio planets, Horatio architecture, and Horatio citizens. The gods themselves will look down upon the empire we create and become jealous. I'm surprised that Horatio thinks there are gods. So we could push to 44 influence and get a free tech, or own 3 systems of level 3 and get a free tech. Well, I'm not really terribly focused on influence generation, and we're actually working toward the level 3 system development already. Like, this is something I want to do. This will be easier, but this is something we were going to do anyway. Yeah, let's focus on glory. Ambition is important, but insufficient, as 5 learned. We must have the means to apply it. The systems under our rule need to thrive and grow until they can unleash their populations. Only then can we begin the arduous, holy task of Horatioification. Horatification, sorry. Alright, well, we probably want to come back home. We're going to need to be on defense here. It's possible that the Cravers just didn't, they were making decisions based on the fact that they had incomplete information. They didn't know for sure that they could completely wipe us out. Alright, so let's bounce. Basically, it doesn't really matter who goes where, because... Oh, you guys will be happier on... Yeah, they'll help to offset the approval penalty from being on this world. Alright, that'll give us some extra industry here, which will help us build a couple of defensive ships a little bit faster, although not very much faster, it seems. You know what, actually? We should probably change up the design of these ships, though, right? I guess siege is still a problem. I was thinking more weapons for the inevitable space battles. But we do also need to be able to actually take these planets away. We're not going to win a battle, or we're not going to win a war entirely defensively. We have to reduce his industrial capacity if we're going to beat him. Alright, you know what? We'll figure out what the right... I'll figure out what the right ship design is before next time. So, that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Before we go anywhere, zoom back into Polaris. We are now seeing 77 industry. What are we receiving a percent? Oh, we're receiving a percentage bonus from this, right? But yeah, I think we're still seeing that there's no extra industry on our initial population. That's right. Yeah, the big gain here is Museum of Manual Efforts. Yeah, so I think pretty conclusively now we've proven that wonder, that unique system improvement, only affects the system that it's on. Good information. That'll help us make our decisions next time around, because I feel like we might have to take another crack at this to come out victorious. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and come back next time. Apparently, a lot of stuff's going to blow up. Maybe it won't entirely be our stuff. And we'll see you then.